Okay, everything is okay, I think. So 34 days in a row. Let's check. 34 days in a row. Today the timing was not what I wanted. It's 8 o'clock at night, evening. Uh, was a difficult day today, but we are here. We continue. Uh, we never stop. Nothing is going to stop us. 34 days in a row. Even though we have problems, we keep pushing. We keep pushing through. Nothing is going to stop us until we speak Japanese fluently. So now, today, what we are going to do, I think is going to be a short one today. I'm not going to do Genki today, I think. Only Tae Kim. Tae Kim and a video from...
Hey everyone,
from here. A video or two videos maybe. Doko and Bat. So yeah, let's just start. Let's start, shall we? Polite form and verb stems. Not being rude in Japan. So the microphone is working fine. Let's add some music. Some traditional Japanese music. I like Japanese music. I like traditional music. In general, I like traditional music. I think it's okay. It's not too loud, is it? Okay. Okay, let's start. The Tae Kim. Still one more thing. I still haven't made a video on YouTube. Tomorrow I must make a video. Like I want to make daily videos, everyday videos on YouTube about this journey, teaching what I learn. And also I want to make short videos about kanji. Like I learned a lot of kanji so far, at least 100 kanji, between 100 and 200 kanji in 1 month, imagine. I want to share this journey with people, but I'm not finding time. Tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, I must upload my first video. I need to make daily videos. I need to make this my full-time job. Hopefully tomorrow. So let's start. Polite form, verbs, not being rude in Japan. Okay. So we finished basic grammar. How great is that? We finished basic grammar. And we're going to start essential grammar. We're making huge progress, guys. We are making huge progress. Like, I can understand a lot of sentences in Japanese. Imagine what will happen like in a month or in 2 months. I'm going to be speaking Japanese. If we keep pushing, if we keep doing this every day, I'm going to speak Japanese in no time. So chapter overview. Let's see the overview. We have learned the basic foundation. We built the foundation in Japanese language so far in like 30 days, 34 days. Japanese language. Now that we have, I feel very motivated. Now that we have a general knowledge of how Japanese works, I know how Japanese works. We can now extend that by learning specific grammar for various situations. This section will go over what is considered to be essential grammar for basic practical Japanese. You will begin to see fewer literal translations in order to emphasize the new grammar now that you should have a good understanding of the basic fundamental grammar. For example, in sentences where the subject has not been specified, I might simply specify the subject in the translation as he, even though it may very well be we or them, depending on the context. This section starts with transforming what we have learned so far into a more unassuming and politer form. In any language, there are ways to word things differently to express a feeling or difference or politeness. Even English has differences such as saying may I versus can I. You may speak one way to your professor and another way to your friends. However, Japanese is different in that not only does the type of vocabulary change, the grammatical structure for every sentence changes as well. There is a distinct and clear line differentiating polite and casual types of speech. On the one hand, the rules clearly tell you how to structure your sentences for different social contexts. On the other hand, every sentence you speak must be conjugated to the proper level of politeness. In section 3, we will cover the polite versions of Japanese, which is required for speaking to people of higher social position or to people you are unfamiliar with. This section will continue to cover, anyways, we begin. Polite form and verb stems, addressing people, the question marker, compound sentences, other uses of the te form, potential form, using suru and naru with the ni particle, conditionals, expressing. We're going to do all of this month. I think in 30 days we're going to finish the essential grammar. So let's start. I'm just so excited to start. Not being rude in Japan. Tei neide, polite language. Tei neide, polite language. Son keide, no. Tei nei go, languages. Go. Tei nei go. Sonkeigo, horrific language. Sonkeigo, horrific language. So go means language. Kenjogo, humble language. Kenjogo. Hi, yes, ie, no. The Japanese we have learned so far is all well and good if you're 5 years old. Unfortunately, adults are expected to use a politer version of the language called teinego. Okay, so there are 3 languages when addressing certain people. People you will probably use teinego are people of higher social rank and people you are not familiar with. Deciding when to use which language is pretty much a matter of feeling or of feel. However, it is a good idea to stick with one form for each person. Later, probably much later, we will learn an even politer version of the language called honorific, not horrific. Honorific. Why did I thought it was horrific language? Honorific language. Sonkeigo. I thought it was going to be horrific language. Try. It will be more useful than you may think because store clerks. Wait, where were we? Okay. Later, probably much later, we will learn an even politer version of the language called honorific and humble form. It will be more useful than you may think because store clerks, receptionists, and such will speak to you in those forms. But for now, let's concentrate on just teinego, polite language, which is the base for the honorific and the humble. Fortunately, it is not difficult to change casual speech to polite speech. There may be some slight changes to the vocabulary. For example, yes and no become hai and iye respectively in polite speech. And very colloquial types of sentence endings are not used in polite speech. We will learn about sentence endings in a later section. Essentially, the only main difference between polite and casual speech comes at the very end of the sentence. You cannot even tell whether a person is speaking in polite or casual speech until the sentence is finished. Stem of verbs. The mic is working, yes. Okay. Taberu, eat. Oyogu, to swim. Suru, to do. Kuru, to come. Okoru, to get angry. Okoru. Okay. That kanji looks like an angry face. Okay. Okoru. Tekken. Tekken means fist. Tekken. Like, wait, Tekken. Like the Tekken game. Wait, let's write it in Japanese. So, Tekken means fist. I think it's okay. Okay. So Tekken means fist. Oh, I learned a new kanji today. So Tekken. Para. Tekken. Okay. I don't think I will ever forget this game. Tekken Shirigo. That was my favorite game. I was playing Tekken when I was 5 years old, 6 years old on PlayStation 1. Tekken, PlayStation 1, PS1. Look, Tekken. There it is, Tekken. Fist. Tekken means fist. I had this CD. This exact CD. Very interesting. So without knowing, I actually grew up with Japanese without knowing. Like, I was watching Japanese cartoons, playing Japanese games. Without knowing, Japanese Japan was with me since I was a child. So Tekken means fist. How does it look like? Looks like gold, kinyobi, kin. And what is this? Sensei, sei. And ko, and something above it. So Tae Kim. Tae Kim means fist. Yasumi, Yasumi to rest. Okay, I know this. Yasumi to rest. Yasumi. In Chinese, it's also the same, but it's not Yasumi. Nomu to drink. Nomu, I know it. Ashita tomorrow. Eiga movie. Okay. Miru to see. Iku to go. Tomodachi friend. Asobu to play. Asobu. Tanoshimu. Tanoshimu.
鳥の名も都に
Tanoshimu. So tanoshimu to enjoy. I know tanoshimu. Dasu to bring out. Dasu to exit. Da to exit. Dasu to bring out. Hashiru to run. Hashiru. Hashiri. Hashiri dasu. Hashiri dasu. To break into a run. Okay. Kairu to return. Kairu. To switch. Kairu to switch. Kairu to switch. Kikairu. Kikairu. To change clothes. Kikairu. Tsukeru. Tsukeru. To attach. Kureru. Kureru. To add. Kureru. Okay. Kureru. Tsuke. Tsuke kureru. Tsuke kureru. That's a difficult verb. Tsuke kueru. Tsuke kueru. Tsuke kueru. Tsuke kureru. Tsuke kureru. To add one thing to another. So kureru. Wait, that's re, not wa. Yes. No, that's a wa. Is it a wa? That's wa. That's re. Okay, it's wa. It's wa. So kuwaeru. Kuwaeru. Ah, that now it makes sense. Now it's not difficult. Kuwaeru. Tsuke kwaeru. Tsuke kwaeru. Ah, so kuwaeru and tsuke kuwaeru. Now it's easier. Now it makes sense. So kuke kuwaeru. Kuke kuwaeru. Tsuke kuwaeru. Tsuke kuwaeru. Kuwaeru to add. Tsuke kuwaeru to add one thing to another. Okay. EU to say EU. To say EU. I know. It's also EU is also. I'll tell you now. I have it here. EU. Idasu. To start talking. Idasu. I know the kanji for talking. People, I think. Next. Tomodachi. No, not this one. Family. Next kanji. Not here. Koto. koto to say, and you to say also. So this kanji is koto and you to say. Okay. In order to conjugate all u verbs and ru verbs into their respective polite forms, let's see if someone commented. I don't want to miss someone. Okay, everything's okay. Ru verbs into their respective polite forms, we will first learn about the stem of verbs. This is often called the masu stem in Japanese textbooks, but we will call it just the stem because it is used in many more conjugations than just its masu form. The stem is really great because it's very easy to produce and is useful in many different types of grammar. Rules for extracting the stem of verbs. For ru verbs, remove the ru. Example, taberu, tabe. For ru verbs, the last vowel sound changes from an u vowel sound to an e vowel sound. Example, this one is oyogo, oyogo, oyogu, oyogu, oyogi. Exception, suru becomes she and kuru becomes ki. Okay. Suru shi, kuru ki. So oyogu becomes oyogi. Taberu becomes tabe. The stem, when used by itself, can be a very specialized and limited way of creating nouns from verbs. While the no particle allows you to talk about verbs as if they were nouns, the stem actually turns verbs into nouns. In fact, in very rare cases, the stem is used more often than the verb itself. For example, the stem of ikaru, to get angry, angry face, okay. Ikaru is used more often than the verb itself. So what is saying here? In fact, in very rare cases, the stem is used more often than the verb itself. Stem of ikaru is used more often than the verb itself. Okay. So the movie Fist of Fury is translated as Ikaru, Ikari no Tekken, Ikari no Tekken. Ikari no Tekken, okay. And not Ikaru Tekken. In fact, Ikaru will most likely be read as Okoru, a completely different verb with the same meaning in kanji. There are a number of specific nouns such as yasumi that are really verb stems that are used like regular nouns. However, in general, we cannot take any verb and make it into a noun. For example, the following sentence is wrong. What is he saying here? Nomi, what is this? Tekken. Tekken, not Tekken. Nomu, yes, nomi, I knew it. Nomi, to drink. Nomio seru, nomio suru. That's not a normal sentence. This sentence makes sense, but no one talks like this. Nomio suru. However, a useful grammar that works in general for stems of all verbs is using the stem as a target with a motion verb. Almost always iku and kuru in this case. This grammar means to go or to come, to do some verb. Here's an example. Ashita eiga o mini iku. Tomorrow go to see movie. 明日映画を見に行く. So, 見に to see, to. The ni particle is to. See me. Two verbs in the same sentence. I am here in Japan. It's 2 a.m. here in Japan. So I can't watch for long, but I really looking forward to your stream, Timmy. Thank you very much, my friend. Karon-chan. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. No worries. No worries. I will make videos on YouTube showing the results that I've reached so far. But thank you very much. I really appreciate it. In the next month, I'm going to speak with you. Hopefully, in the next few months, I hope to speak with you in Japanese. The stream will be on. Okay, it's working. So yeah, as I was saying, hopefully in the next few months, maybe 2-3 months, I will be speaking. The stream will be only in Japanese. I will only be speaking in Japanese, hopefully. And yeah, but thank you very much. I will definitely keep doing, keep learning. Yeah, so 2 verbs in the same sentence. So, 明日映画を見に行く. Go to see a movie. Mini is the stem of. I was normally I do different time. Only today and yesterday, the time is like this. The timing is like this. Today I had so much work in the morning. That's why I streamed this late. But Onyaman knows me also. I stream in the morning, which in Japan is about afternoon, I think. So yeah, only today. Mini is the stem of miru, which is me, combined with the target particle ni. Mini is the stem of miru. Yes, I know it, which is me, combined with the target particle ni. The motion target particle A sounds like you're literally going or coming to something, while the ni particle implies that you're going or coming for the purpose of doing something. So, 昨日、友達が遊ぶへ来た。So, yesterday, 来た means for 来る to come. So, 昨日、友達が遊びへ来た。昨日、友達が遊びへ来た。So, yesterday, friend came to a playing activity. Sounds a bit strange. 昨日、友達が遊びに来た. Yesterday, friend came to play. So, sounds like you're literally going to coming to something, while the ni particle implies that you are going to or coming for the purpose of doing something. Came to a playing activity. Okay, so the A the motion particle a sounds like you're literally going or coming to something, while ni particle implies that you are going or coming for the purpose of doing something. So when you put you are going to come to do something, come to some activity. You are coming to something. But ni of doing. Ni, the ni particle. You come, when you add the ni particle, you're coming to do something. You come to play. But a particle, you come to something. You're coming to something. Ni, you're coming to do something. You are coming to something. So it's not very appropriate to put a. It's better to put ni, I think. The expression tanoshimu to enjoy, tanoshimu ni suru. Tanoshimu ni suru. Meaning to look forward to, is formed from grammar similar to this but is a special case and should be considered a set expression. Other verbs are also something attached to the stem to create new verbs. Microphone is working. Okay. Other verbs also sometimes attached to the stem to create new verbs. For example, when dasu is attached to the stem of hashiru to run, which is hashiri. You get hashiri suru. Hashiri dasu. So for example, when over other verbs are also sometimes attached to the stem to create new verbs. So to exit, to bring out, dasu, when attached to hashiru, which is hashiri, you get hashiri dasu. Mean to break out into a run. Okay, hashiri dasu. Other examples include kirikaeru, which means to switch over to something else, and tsukekuwaeru, which means to add something by attaching it. You can see how the separate meanings of the two verbs are combined to create the new combined verb. For example, idasu means to start talking. Combining the meaning to speak and to bring out, there are no general rules here. You need to just memorize these combined verbs as separate verbs in their own right. Music stopped. In their own separate right. We need traditional music. Shorts. To start talking, idas, two e's, means to start talking. Combining this means to speak and to bring out. There are no general rules here. You need to just memorize these combined verbs as separate verbs in their own right. Things that are written in a formal context, such as newspaper articles, also use the stem as a conjunctive verb. We will come back to this later in the formal expression lesson. So using must to make verbs polite. Okay, using must. Des, after that, des for everything else. Using must to make everything polite. Ashita, daigaku, college. Iku, to go. Senshu, last week. Au, to meet. Au, to meet. Bangohan, dinner. Taberu, to eat. Omoshiroi, interesting. Eiga, movie. Miru. I know Japanese. Of course, the reason I introduced the verb stem is to learn how to conjugate verbs into their polite form. The masu form. The must form must always come at the end of a complete sentence and never inside a modifying relative clause. When we learn compound sentences, we will see that each sub-sentence of the compound sentence can end in must form or as well. To conjugate verbs into the must form, you attach different conjugation of must to the stem depending on the tense. So I don't know why the some fonts have changed. I cannot see the grammar. I don't know what happened lately. The blackness is very very intense. It wasn't like this a week ago. What has changed? Wallpaper custom. Not the wallpaper, but dark auto light. I don't like light. No. No. Sub-zero. I don't know what changed. It wasn't this dark, and I could see the font here, but now it's very annoying. Don't remember. Did I change something here? Yeah. Anyways. We just select them like this. Conjugation chart with sample stem asobu, to play asobu. So mas conjugation, stem plus mas. Mas, masen, mashita for past, masen for negative. Okay, I know it. Easy, mashita. Masen deshita, past negative. So mas, as we learned from here, from the Genki, is for polite. Is for polite language. Because I learned the janaides, janakatta. I think it's a different type of language. So this teineigo. So the mas is a teineigo language. The ones we learned here in Genki. Mas, des, mas, mashta, masen, masendeshta. Okay, so that's a polite language. Mas, masen, mashta, masendeshta. Asobimas, asobimasen, asobimashta, asobimasendeshta. Okay, I know it. Not difficult. Easy enough. 明日大学に行きます。明日大学に行きます。So tomorrow I go to school, to college. 先週ボブに会いました。会いましたよ。So I meet ました。I met. 先週 last week I met Bob. You know, yo means you know. You know, met Bob last week. Okay. 先週ボブに会いましたよ。So you know, met Bob last week. Okay. 映画の晩ご飯を食べませんでしたね。晩ご飯を食べませんでしたね。Didn't eat dinner? So ne means huh or also means isn't it? In it. So 晩ご飯を食べませんでしたね。Okay. 面白いな。面白いくなかくない面白くない面白くない面白いくない面白い Where is it? 映画面白い食べる来る映画ました映画 Thought I saw it here. Change clothes. Anyways, we continue. There it is here. Ed, 面白い. So, 面白. So these two is 面白. So, 面白くない映画 not interesting movie. Interesting. 面白くない映画は見ません。About no interesting movie, do not see them. So I don't see not interesting movie. I don't see uninteresting movie. 面白くない映画は見ません。I don't watch uninteresting movie. So this is easy. This I know it from Genki. ません、ました、ませんでした。遊びません、遊びました、遊びませんでした。Easy. 行きます。会いました。past tense. 食べませんでした。negative past tense. And 見ません。negative. Okay, using des. We also did it here. Des. So des is. Des is. And でした。was. じゃないです。isn't. じゃなかった。was not. Easy. かわいい。cute. Mic is working, yes? I can't do much as a viewer, but if you're ever curious about anything in Japan, feel free to ask me, that is. If I can't catch everything in English, haha, no problem, Karon-chan. I will ask you, of course. I have more friends from Japan, and they always help me. And I hope you help me also. Help me with the lesson. Well, thank you very much, though. I will ask you in Japanese soon. I will be asking you in Japanese. No problem if you don't know English very well. But thank you a lot. Ah, you can change it from here. Ah, light dark. From here, dark, light, dark, light. They need. I think they upgraded the website, but they made it worse. I have I have some questions. I have some question about Japan, but I forgot them now. So when the question come back, I will ask you something, Karon-chan. Kawaii. Shizuka, quiet. Shizuka, I know it. Shizuka. Ko Koinu, inu, puppy.
空へやらやのやはいやらや
Inu, dog. Ko, a child. So Koinu is a puppy. Okay. So this ko is for little. When if you put a woman on na ko, means a girl, or otoko, a boy. Ko inu, a puppy. Ko neko, chai na. Sajiba chai. I'm going to bring some ocha. Ocha nomimasu. Ocha nomimasu.
足は踏みだより空へや しゃまよた
Oh, test, test. Okay, working. Okay, お茶飲みます。お茶飲みます。日本語勉強します。お茶飲みますと日本語、日本語勉強します。昨日、yesterday, on 好き to like 動的とても very とて子犬とても、好き昨日時間 time ある to exist そのエイヤルームエイヤ OK エイヤルーム先週、last week 見る映画面白い interesting OK 面白面白い For any sentence that does not end in a ru verb or u verb, the only thing that needs to be done is to add des or deshita. Okay, for the sentence that don't have a ru or u verbs, we add des and deshita. That's the use of des and deshita. Okay. You can also do this for substituted nouns, both no and by just treating them like regular nouns. Another important thing to remember is that if there is a declarative da, it must be removed. It must be removed. In being polite, I guess you can't be so bold as to forwardly declare things the way da does. Just like the must form, this must also go to at the end of a complete sentence. Here is a chart illustrating the conjugations. So des is des, deshita, janai desu, janakatta desu. E adjective da cannot be used. Casual, polite. Kawaii, kawaii, kawaii desu. Negative. Kawaii, kawaii, kawaii kunai, kawaii kunai, kawaii kunai. Kawaii kunai desu. Kawaii kunai desu. Polite, casual. Kawaii kunai. Kawaii kunai desu. Kunai de. So des is polite. Ah. But you can use it without the des. Past. Kawaikatta. Kawaikatta desu. Kawaikunakatta. Kawaikunakatta desu. E adjective da cannot be used. So an adjective noun might have to remove da. Casual, polite. Plain is Shizuka. Shizuka da. Shizuka desu. For negative, Shizuka janai. Shizuka janai desu. Shizuka datta. Shizuka deshita. Shizuka janakatta. Shizuka janakatta desu. Okay. Notice in the case of noun, adjective only, the past tense becomes deshita. A very common mistake is to do the same for e adjectives. Remember kawaii. Kawaii deshita is wrong. Is kawaii kana かわいかった。or かわいいかな。かわいかったです。かわいかったです。So, for this. So, examples for this. Examples. They need to fix the dark mode. Tae Kim needs to fix. It was perfectly fine last week. 子犬はとても好きです。I like so much puppies. What puppies like very much? 子犬はとても好きです。とても。子犬はとても好きです。The most natural translation is that someone likes puppies very much. Microphone is working. Working fine. Okay. 昨日 most natural translation is that someone likes puppies very much, but there is not enough context to rule out that the puppies like something very much. 昨日時間がなかったです。なかったんです。昨日時間がなかったんです。There was no time yesterday. 昨日時間がなかったんです。時間がなかったんです。その絵やその絵やはあまり静かじゃないです。That room is very quiet. その絵やはあまり静かじゃないです。その絵やはあまり静か。So あまり means a little, not very. So that room is not very quiet. 先週に見た映画はとても面白かったです。Movie saw last week was very interesting. So 先週に見た映画は The movie I saw last week とても面白かったです。was very interesting. Okay. I see how the sentences are constructed here. 先週に見た映画はとても面白かったです。Reality check. I've heard on a number of occasions that the negative non-past conjugation as given is not an officially correct conjugation. Instead, what's considered to be more correct conjugation is to actually replace the naides part with arimasen. The reasoning is that the polite negative form of the verb aru is not naides but arimasen. Therefore, kawai kunai actually becomes kawai arimasen and shizuka janai becomes shizuka arimasen. So I have here number of occasions that negative non-past as given here is not an officially correct conjugation. Instead, what's considered to be correct is naides part with. So arimasen is the correct form. The reason is that polite negative form aru is not naides but arimasen. So arimasen is the correct polite form. So you replace the kawai kunai with arimasen. Kawai arimasen, kawai arimasen desu. The reality of today's Japanese is that what's supposed to be official conjugation sounds rather stiff and formal. In normal everyday conversation, the conjugation presented here will be used almost every time, while you should use the more formal conjugation for written works using the polite form. You will rarely hear it in actual speech. In conclusion, I recommend studying and becoming familiar with both types of conjugation. Ocha, oishi. Oishi ocha nomimasu. A more formal negative conjugation. Casual polite. Kawai kunai. Kawai kunai. Kawai ku arimasen. Wait, what? Kawai kunai, kawai ku arimasen. Kawai ku arimasen. Past negative. Kawai kunakatta. Kawai ku arimasen deshita. Negative again. Shizuka. Shizuka janai. Shizuka jarimasen. Shizuka. Wait, combine the both? Janai and arimasen? How? Shizuka jarimasen. Okay. So you combine janai with arimasen. Shizuka jarimasen. Combining both. Shizuka janakatta. Shizuka ja. Okay, so I think I understand. The reality of today. A more formal negative. Okay, it's a more formal. But we learn it slowly. Shizuka, no, that's eia. Sono eia wa amari shizuka janai desu yo. Sono eia wa amari shizuka janai desu yo. You know that is not very quiet room. Sono eia wa amari shizuka jarimasen yo. It's the same. It's the same. So janai desu yo. Jarimasen yo. It's the same, but it's more formal. Okay, we learn it slowly when we speak. Now we just get the idea of it. So this is not the same as da. How much do we have still? We're finishing. So we finish this one and we watch one or two videos from here, and I think we call it a day. Test. Good night. Good night, bro. Good night. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tomodachi. Good night. Gonbanwa. Gonbanwa, I think. Oyasumi. Oyasumi. Oyasumi, bro. Oyasumi. Oyasumi, my friend, tomodachi. Thank you very much for being here. I don't think is the microphone working? I think it's working, but the song is not working. To make sure. I think it's working now. Okay, we are almost done here. So, so desu ka? Hai, so desu. So, that's to think. To think, yes. Omo, to think. So I remember this kanji because it's consisted of the heart, kokoro, and the rice field, ta. Ta, yes. But to think, it's like a heart at the window, thinking about something. So that's how I remember it's to think. So kokoro and the rice field, ta, becomes omo. Omo. Hi, yes. Kotaeru to answer. Kotae is an answer. Kotaeru to answer. I know this kanji also. Kotae, answer. Kotaeru, to answer. Many of you who have taken Japanese classes have probably been taught that des is the polite version of da. However, this is not da. However, I want to point some several key differences here and the reasons why they are in fact completely different. It is possible to fully explain the reasons why they are fundamentally different without discussing grammar that have yet to be covered, so I would like to target this toward those who have already started learning Japanese and have been incorrectly misinformed that da is the casual version of des. For the rest of you new to this, you can easily skip this part. Okay, so we can skip this part. I'm sure most of you have learned the expression so by now. Wait, which part? Now there are 4 ways to make a complete sentence using the state of being with so to produce a sentence that says that is so. So, soda, so des, so de go gozai des, so de gozai des. Wait, so we can skip this part? Let's just read it, and it's not much. So the first so is the implied state of being, and soda is the declarative. As I've stated before, the non-assuming soft-spoken so is often used by females, while the more confident soda is often used by males. So des is the polite version of so, created by attaching des to the noun. So des is not the polite version of soda, where the da is replaced by des, and I'll explain why. Perhaps we wanted to make that sentence into a question instead to ask, is that so? There are several ways to do this, but some possibilities are given in the following. This grammar is covered in the later section. different ways to ask, is that so? So desu ka? So, hai, so desu. So, so ka. So desu ka? So desu ka? Hai, so desu. As I've explained before, the da is used to declare what one believes to be a fact. Therefore, so daka is not a valid way to ask a question because it is declaring a fact and asking a question at the same time. But in fact, so desu ka is a valid question, shows that des and da are essentially different. So desu ka, so des is in showing in showing respect and humbleness is not an assertive and is merely the polite version of so. Beside besides the differences beside the difference in nuance between da and des, another key difference is that da is used in many different types of grammar to delineate relative clause. Des, on the other hand, is only used at the end of a sentence to designate a polite state of being. For instance, consider the two following sentences.
So my friend is practicing.
Let's put this one. The two sentences. This grammar is covered in later section. Okay. I don't understand what he's saying here. So he said let's keep this part because it's the first time. So let's keep it. So we finished the first chapter. That's great. Polite form and verb stems. Polite form and verb stems. So we understand now the polite language. Teine go. I think I understand the polite language. The stem, we use only the stem. We remove the ru. And from ru verbs, we remove the ru. And from u verbs, the u becomes e. So ku, ki, mu, mi, and so on. Except for the two irregular verbs, the suru and kuru, which becomes shi and ki. Yeah, we have the two tables of mas, masen, mashta, masendeshta, and we have the table of the des, which becomes ides, kunai des, katta des, kunagatta des, and so on. Des, deshta, and katta des. I think I understand. Okay, so now we watch a video or two for 10-15 minutes. Tomorrow we do addressing people. Tomorrow we address people. Okay, that should be interesting. Okay, so in a month, less than a month I think, we I really need to buy a new microphone. It's very annoying. So yeah, in less than a month we finish essential grammar. Today we are not going to do Genki. Tomorrow I think we do chapter 5, trip to Okinawa. That should be great. So now we stop the music and watch a video or two from here.
We're gonna be working on.
And yeah, we keep going. Tae Kim Tae Kim, okay, done. Genki tomorrow. Tae Kim and Genki, and from 0.
Lesson 7.
We are making huge progress,
Ben?
guys. I started to understand a lot of things.
We're moving right through the book. There's only 5 more lessons left, and then we will be, I think there's actually 6 more lessons left. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But we're kind of in the halfway point of the book, and we've learned how to say which one and what and who, and we've learned possession and likes and
11,
not liking
and we
wanting
finished the
and
first
we haven't learned officially
11 videos.
even any verbs, but there's still a lot more to learn before we get to actual verbs, which comes up near the end of the book. But we have learned ski, kirai, and hoshi, which in English are verbs, just in Japanese they're not. So isn't that amazing? We haven't learned even one verb yet. So we're going to talk today about yet not another verb. We're going to talk about
Doko.
locations and the doko word group. And really this is the introduction to location, because in book 2 we go a lot further with locations. Okay, this is the doko word group, and I suppose I could have written that in hiragana because you guys know it. We added a lot of hiragana before this lesson. We learned, this is the only time you're going to learn 15 like right in a row. We learned ha, hi, fu, he, ho, babi, bu, be, bo, and pa, pi, pu,
I know
pe, po.
hiragana already.
That's
I just
big.
like to watch
Does anyone remember
from 0.
what the hash marks are called? Who remembers? They're called dakten.
Dakten or tenten.
Ten.
Dakten or
And the
tenten.
circle one, it's called handakten. That's minor trivia. Japanese will just call it a maru a lot of times.
Handakten.
All right.
Handakten.
New words in this lesson are koko,
Koko.
here,
Soko.
soko, there,
Soko.
asoko, over there,
Doko.
and doko,
Where?
And they are koso ado words. This is our third set that we're learning. We learned kore, sore, are, dore, kochi, sochi, achi, dochi. And now we're learning koko, soko, asoko, and doko. And we're going to learn 2 more location words that are important. Naka, inside, like inside the
Naka.
house. And
I know the kanji
soto,
for naka.
outside.
Soto.
Now let's look at the relationship of koko, soko, asoko. It's not hard. It's just kind of nice to remember what koso ado does. But if I told you here, there, over there, it makes complete sense, okay? But here's what's happening. Koko is here where I can touch it. It's like right in this general area, yeah? Just like English. Soko is, I'm pointing to a sort of close location, but not very far away. That is, oh, it's there. It's right there, man. It's there. But if it's very far away, then we're going to say asoko. Okay, it's over there. It's much further away.
That over there.
Okay. But in English, we typically just say there. Oh, no, there. You know, asoko in English really doesn't have a distinction. But in Japanese, it's a different word. So let's go ahead and see what we can do to use these words. We have our cat.
Neko.
Our cat is missing. And this has happened multiple times at my house. I have 3 cats. I have a cat named Melody, who hates me. Used to hate me. She's better now. We have the most friendly cat on the planet, Junior. And the most beautiful, holy moly beautiful cat, Yuki. Yuki means snow. All right. Now that you know that, what happens? What happens when you come home and Melody is missing? What's my daughter going to say? What's my wife going to say? She's going to say, Neko wa doko desu ka?
Neko wa doko desu ka?
Doko desu ka? Where is the cat?
Neko wa doko desu ka?
Doko desu ka? And then someone sees her and just goes, oh, soko desu, soko desu.
Soko desu.
It's right there. Soko desu. What if it's an outside cat? And it went outside and you just want to say, oh, it's outside. Soto desu. Really
Soto.
small difference. Soko, soto. Oh, it's way over there. It's over there. Asoko desu.
Asoko desu.
What if you're out in the backyard and you're doing a barbecue and the cat was out there, but you don't know where it went?
Naka
And
desu.
someone says, Neko wa doko desu ka? And the cat's inside. Naka desu.
Naka desu.
Okay?
Naka
All right.
desu.
Here we have our friendly businessman who we have named Tanaka-san for these videos. He looks like what's behind his back, I wonder? Like, he's kind of shady the way he's holding his hand. I feel like like as the lessons progress, we might find out that Tanaka-san has a gun behind his back and he's going to shoot us, or a knife. He might be mafia. We don't even know. Where is Tanaka-san? Where is he?
田中さんは
Tanaka-san wa doko
ど
desu
こ
ka?
ですかどこですか
Now, doko is in red, right? That's the question. The answer we're answering, the question we're answering is doko. So he's over there. Very easily.
あそこです
Very easy to figure out, right? Asoko desu.
He's there over there
He's in the house. Now, we know how to say inside is naka.
なんか
We don't know how to say inside the house yet. We're going to get to that later on. I don't want to
うち
put too many new things in your head right now. So just say
ちに
in the house, he's
うちね
it's a little
うち
bit
で
awkward, but this is completely okay in Japanese. Ie desu.
家です家
Now,
です
that same phrase, ie desu, can mean it's a house, but in the context of Tanaka-san wa doko desu ka?
I would say うちへで中ですうちで中です I think
Ie desu. It now means in the house or at the house. Do you understand? Because contextually, it all makes sense.
So house means ie and uchi, but I don't know which one to use. Like why are there two pronunciations for house?
You could also say he's at work, even though we don't know how to say at in Japanese. We will learn that there's a particle that says where something is at, but we don't know it yet. But this
de particle 仕事です
Japanese is 100%
仕
correct.
事です仕
If you say Tanaka-san wa doko desu ka? You can answer
仕
shigoto
事
desu.
です仕事
Okaasan wa doko desu ka? Where's mom? Shigoto desu.
仕事です
At work. Okay. What if where's your little brother? Ototo wa doko desu ka? Gakkou desu.
学校です
He's at school.
学校で
Some weird hair just floated by.
す学校
He's
で
at
す
school. Tanaka's, where's the hair? In front of my eye. So, we've learned how to use doko in a sentence where we're saying, here's the topic, and we're going to ask the question about where is that topic. But, what if the question word itself is the topic? And we want to know, I'm not even going to show you the sentence yet, but let's say we want to know, hey, where is a good place to eat? Where tastes good is really what we want to say. There is a way to say it
Oshidoko
where
desu
doko
ka?
desu ka is used, but we're going to use doko in front. Doko ga oishii desu ka?
どこが
Where
美
is
味しいですか
delicious? Now that is a weird sentence, but we're really asking where is a place that tastes good? But because
ど
doko
こ
is a
が美味しいで
question
す
word,
か
we are forced by the rules of wa and ga to put a ga there. Doko ga oishii desu ka?
We cannot put wa どこ We cannot put どこは always がどこが美味しいですか
And we probably had a topic already about, hey, let's go eat. We've already said, tabetai desu. I want to eat. Oops, I shouldn't have given you that. I don't like to get things ahead of time. I really like you guys to learn it in order, because if I give you too much stuff up front, you're gonna mix things, and I don't want that yet. Okay? So try to learn in order. Doko ga oishii desu ka? Maybe the
ど
topic
こが
was,
美味しいです
let's
か
go eat together, and someone says, well, where is delicious? Where tastes good? Where is good? Doko ga oishii desu ka? And if McDonald's is good, you're just going to say, McDonald's ga oishii desu. McDonald's ga oishii desu. I know that's hard to say.
マクドナルド
What if we want to go, we plan on hanging out with friends, and we want to know, well, where would be fun? Doko ga tanoshii desu ka?
どこが
Tanoshii.
楽しい
Now, I
で
don't
す
know if we taught this in the lessons yet, but that's a good word to know. It means it's enjoyable. So
ど
tanoshii.
こが楽しいですか
Tanoshii desu ka? And I want to tell you, if you're in Vegas, I did this thing the other day that I never did before. I never even heard about it. It's called lockdown. Lockdown. Lockdown ga tanoshii desu. And what it is they lock you in a room for an hour, and you have a mystery to solve. And the mystery that we did was our cousin had been kidnapped, and they wanted $1 million ransom, but the police weren't letting us wire that money to them. But the detective's like, look, man, you've got an hour. He's going to die. They're going to kill him. But your cousin has a trust fund, and all you have to do is wire the money from his trust fund. So then you go into the room, and you have to find all these clues to eventually get to the computer password to send the money. We did it in 24 minutes, a minute and a half away from the record fortunately, we didn't get close enough. But we did it, and I was really excited until I found out that 77% of the people that do that challenge, they get it. There's another challenge that I'm going to do next, though. It's Mob Boss, and there's only like a 46% chance of getting that one. And then there's another one called Crazy Professor. There's like a 26% chance. So I'll let you know what happens with that. So if you're asking me, doko ga tanoshii desu ka? I'm going to say, lockdown ga tanoshii desu. Lockdown ga tanoshii desu. All right, I'll see you all in lesson 7, where we pump it up a notch. See you then.
Okay, so that was very interesting. I think we watched this one 10, 11 more minutes, and we call it a day.
Lesson 7 begins now.
We wrap it up.
Today, on Japanese from Zero, we will be discussing
But
the connection but. I screwed up. I meant to say the but sentence connector. All right. So remember, you do need to know ha, hi, hu, he, ho, and ba. Wait a minute. Lesson 7, right? Older version of the book, but it still will be. Oh, you know what? This is wrong. You need to know mami mo. Oh, look at that. Yes. Wait. No, that's legit. That was right. Because we're doing a part 2 from the same lesson. I think that's what happened. And I got confused. So, in lesson 7, we need to know hahi hueho, babi bubebo, and papi pupepo. But more importantly, we need to know this new word, demo. We also need to know e and yoi. Yoi. So, e and yoi both mean the same thing. However, when you're saying good, you typically only say e. We're going to use yoi in just a second, though. And oki, big. And chisai. Look at that. So much here going on the screen. It's nice. So let's do some practice first about how to make these negative, which is what we were doing in the last video. So
you like him. This guy is awesome being Japanese. I'm also impressed. I'm explaining something even the Japanese can't explain. I like him a lot. He's also very funny. That's why I like watching him. He explains it in a very playful and nice way. Hopefully, we are in 26. When we finish 155 videos, we can speak like him.
Oki, drop the e. You have oki. Okikunai. Okikunai desu. It's not big.
Not big.
I don't have anything here to show you to demonstrate not big. But let's just say I'm Donald Trump and my hand is not big. So I could say te ga okikunai desu. Te ga okikunai desu. I mean, that is the joke. That is the joke that everyone says about Donald Trump. So chisai. Chisai means small.
Chisai.
Okay. Chisa. Drop the e. Chisa. Chisakunai. Not small. Chisakunai. Okay. Now, with good, e, there is e and yoi, right? Well, for the negative, you use the yoi one. So you say, yo, yokunai. Now, you can say ikunai. You will hear ikunai, but it's way more natural and common to say yokunai for not good. Okay? So it's normally, you just drop the e and add kunai to any adjective and it works, but this is kind of an exception. E becomes yokunai. Okay? Now, let me ask you a question.
E, when you want to say no, not e, not good, yokunai. Okay.
How do I say yasai, which means vegetable?
Yasai.
How do I say not a vegetable?
Yasai kunai. Yasukunai. Yakunai.
Do you drop the e and say yasakunai? No. This dropping of the e thing only works for adjectives right now. Okay? You have to say yasai janai.
Yasai janai.
On your toes. Yasai janai. Because yasai is not the adjective, so it would never ever make a conjugation, right? So it's yasai janai.
Yasai janai.
Now, excuse me. Before we get to using demo, we did talk about wa and ga usage in a prior lesson, but we are going to do it again. Because we're gonna add a little bit to it, okay? And it's always good to review these, okay? And I'm gonna kind of put numbers on these rules, okay? So number one,
Wa.
you can never use wa directly after a question word.
Yes, only ga.
Unless
I know this.
you're that guy in YouTube making a comment and not even watching the video. So for example, nani ga suki desu ka? Because nani is a question word, you cannot have wa there. It's even if you're showing emphasis, even if you're using any of the other rules that wa can be used by, you can never, ever, ever say nani wa. Unless
Nani ga.
there is a famous StarCraft player named Naniwa. Just want to throw it out there. But that is not what we're talking about. So, nani ga suki desu ka? Nani ga suki desu ka? Doko ga oishii desu ka?
Doko ga oishii desu ka?
Where tastes good? Nani iro ga ii desu ka? What color is good?
Nani iro ga
ii desu ka?
ii desu ka?
Nezumi wa nan desu ka? Now, why did I throw that sentence?
Nezumi wa nan desu ka?
The first three sentences, we have nani ga, doko ga, and nani iro ga. And a lot of people confuse this rule and think, oh, well, if there's a question word in the sentence, you can't use wa. That's not what I said.
There is no question.
That's not the
There's
rule.
no
The
question
rule
word.
is, you can never use wa directly after a question word. In the sentence, nezumi wa nan desu ka, which means what is a nezumi, what is a rat, but we're assuming you just heard the word nezumi, you don't know what it means, and you're asking,
Here.
nezumi wa nan desu ka? We have a question word, nan. But why we're using wa? Because that's the
It's not
topic.
for
We're
the
saying,
nan.
what is this thing called nezumi? And it's not a question word.
For Nezumi.
Nihon wa doko desu ka?
Nihon wa doko
Looking at a
desu
map.
ka?
Where's Japan? Nihon wa doko desu ka?
The wa is for Nihon, not for doko.
Budou wa nani iro desu ka? Budou
Budou
wa
wa
nani iro desu ka?
nani
What color are grapes? Two answers for that, right? Budou wa midori desu. Or budou wa murasaki desu.
Murasaki.
Second rule, wa is used for comparison and emphasis. Now this rule, we haven't needed until now. We really haven't. Okay? We've said that we can use ga for emphasis. For example, are you Tanaka-san? Iie, kare ga Tanaka desu. Right? You could do it then, but also wa does the same thing. This is where it gets complicated because wa is also used for emphasis. So let's look at a sentence. Hopefully it'll help. Inu ga suki desu. That's your basic sentence. I like dogs. Demo is a comparator word. It's also a connector. It connects two sentences. It's the beginning of one sentence. It's connecting that first sentence to it. But neko wa kirai desu. Now I'm using wa to emphasize. Okay? Inu ga suki desu. Demo neko wa kirai desu. Kore ga ii desu. This is good. Demo
kore wa
kore wa yokunai desu. But this, it isn't good. So that's where we're using ga, right? We're using ga in the first sentence, and then that kind of switches the next sentence to wa, right? We're basically using wa when emphasizing what normally would be ga in that sentence, right? Now we can have a sentence where we can have two sentences connected that have was in both of them too. It's totally fine.
Tashi wa
私は15歳です. I am 15. It doesn't mean that you switch to the God to make the emphasis. You wouldn't say, でもお兄さんが You wouldn't. It's お兄さんは16歳です. The number one. But as I've shown you in the prior video, you can use ga to emphasize. That's where it gets tricky. It's not easy to know when to use wa and ga. And honestly, the fifth rule will explain it all. Wa and ga can both be in the same sentence. This is not a real rule, but I put it here because a lot of people sometimes get confused. They don't think that you can have them in the same sentence, but you can. 私はここが好きです.
koko da.
I like it here. 私はここが好きです。私の友達はポケモンが嫌いです。What? How can you hate Eevee? How can you hate? How can she slap? I
Tashi
saw
no
that video on the internet. Every time I say how can something, I always want to say how can she slap?
友達は
Go look that up on YouTube right now. How can she slap? Trust.
How can she slap?
We don't want to talk with you actually.
Why don't you go and f off then?
You go. How can you slap? How can you slap? How can she slap? How can she slap me?
How can you slap?
How can she slap me?
How did you enter?
How can she slap?
How can you slap? How can you slap?
How can they slap?
How can she slap?
How can you slap? How did you enter? How did you enter?
Okay.
Trust me, you'll like it. How can she slap? How can you not like Pokemon? Come on, they're cute. They're adorable.
私の友達はポケモンが嫌いです。
でも、私の友達はポケモンが嫌いです。Alright? Number 4. Was should be used with new topics and conversations. We talked about that. We don't have to go into depth, into detail about that. In another video, we talked about it that typically, because you're talking about a new topic, you're going to, not typically, almost all the time, you're going to start a conversation with
Used
wa.
with new
Then the
topics
next
and
thing can be ga.
conversations.
It's a follow-up thing. I feel like that might have confused you a little bit. But go watch the video and you'll see what I mean. Here's the most important rule. Wa and ga are often dropped in casual conversations. They really are. Japanese drop them from time to time. Okay? They might say, yeah, I don't want to give this to you yet. Just trust me. They will drop them. So not only will they drop them, but if you ask a Japanese person to explain the difference between wa and ga, they don't know. They can't explain it. The max they will typically do is the one that everyone says, wa marks the topic and ga marks the subject. But it's not often clear what the subject is. And sometimes when ga is used as emphasis, you're like, well, does that make it the subject now? And when wa is used to emphasize, is that now the subject? No. I mean the topic, sorry. Does that make it a topic? No. Sometimes you're just emphasizing something. So, my advice would be, don't worry too much about this. If you screw up wa and ga, you're going to be okay. If you say, watashi ga neko wa suki desu, they're still going to get it. They're still going to understand what you're saying. It'll sound weird, but they'll understand you. All right, thank you for watching. I have nothing on this back screen. That means I'm out of videos today. This is the last one for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all on the next lesson. Remember, please, if you get confused, don't feel bad about asking questions on YouTube or even on the website. And I'll try to answer as many of them as I can. And also, please review. Please go back and review. Because I do feel like I'm explaining it. Sometimes. All right, I'll see you next time.
Okay, so tomorrow we do months and days of the month. So I think that was good for today. Confuses me too. The wa and ga. It's confusing at the beginning, but you have to get used to it. So I think we did a lot for today. Not what I wanted, but we had very short time. I think tomorrow we are going to do the same. Hopefully I wake up in the morning and before I go to work, I start learning Japanese. I don't want to do late in the night because I need to sleep early. So yeah, we did Tae Kim. We watched 2 videos. tomorrow we do the fifth chapter from Genki. We do some exercises from here also, from the fifth chapter. We did a lot of exercises here. I think we are okay. And we do this chapter from Tae Kim. Would be an interesting chapter. And we do numbers. Where? Here. We do numbers and months and days of the month. Tomorrow will be an interesting day also. We never stop. Gambatte. Gambatte means let's go. Yes? No, do it. Let's English. Yes, I know. Go for it. Never stop, bro. Never stop. Nothing going to stop us. Every day, mainichi, until we reach 1,000 days. Until we reach 1,000 days in a row. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone. Xanthipe0. I hope tomorrow I'm going to upload a video on my YouTube. I really want to make videos on YouTube. Videos on the results, like 30 days after 30 days. From day 1, I was learning hiragana until today. How many kanjis I learned, how I learned, how many words I have learned, how many sentence, grammar, everything. Yeah, I want to do a lot of things. I'm very excited, but the problem is I don't have a lot of time. I have work also. If I didn't have work, if I didn't have a job, I would learn 24/7. I would be learning Japanese 24/7. But what can we do? This is life. You have to make money. So tomorrow in the morning again. And hopefully we make videos. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Xanthipe and also Karon-chan. Thank you very much. He was he left. He's sleeping now. Good night. Yeah, thank you very much. Bye bye. And I will be here every day. I will never stop. Nothing is going to stop me.